welcome back to episode 43 of the hops&bops podcast. I am producer Tom.
I'm Joe.
Guess I'm Mike.
That's the only one left, I guess.
I wanted to be Joe this time.
Fine, you're Joe.
No, I don't want
What the hell am I?
You're Mike.
Oh.
Unless you want to be Tom. Anyway, this producer's pick.
I heard you drink too much.
Today, on this episode, it's actually my producer's pick. I actually picked a couple of my favorites. This new Tyler, the Creator album that just dropped, Call Me If You Get Lost. And to pair with that, we got Founders All Day IPA Session Wheat Ale.
How are we supposed to call Tyler? I don't know his number.
So actually, it's funny you mentioned that.
Oh, really?
For the promotional material for this album, he started putting out billboards that had a number you could call on it, and you called it, and it would play snippets of the album.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So the first one was the snippet from Mama Talk, where it's just like his mom, and then the other one was like a non-album release. I don't know what it was, but there's like 2 or 3 of them. But if you want to call it, you can still call it.
How does that help if you're lost?
I mean, did you listen? I don't know. But it's 855-444-8888. So if you want to crack open, because we do the beer first and then we do the album.
Yes,
so,
sure. A little format buster.
Yes. So yeah, let's crack open the All Day IPA.
All Day IPA Founders.
The 12 ounce. So Mike is a big, well, not a big, I don't know if I would say a big fan of the All Day IPA.
You know,
at least you turned me on to that.
I graduated from, the light beer school.
Yes.
A few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And
Bud Light.
Yeah, the Bud Lights, the Coors Lights, the Miller Lights, the
Luke Combs beers.
I was just gonna say that. I couldn't think of his name. Anyway, and basically, if I'm gonna buy like a larger case of beer, they come in 15 packs, and usually they're on sale for like $15-$16, which is a pretty decent price for an IPA. It's a session IPA, so it's very drinkable. Fits the name all day. You can drink them like they're Bud Lights. They're the same kind of alcohol percentage, so they're not going to fuck you up. But they just have a little bit more flavor than your, standard light beer. So those became kind of like our, we're going to buy a nice 4-pack or a nice 6-pack of this or some seltzers or that. And then if you needed just like a go-to beer, all day IPA.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be an interesting
all day
session wheat ale.
Yeah.
It's very much like a wheat color, very
Amberish.
darkish. Well, not. I guess it's a little bit
lighter.
on. Yeah.
It's on the browner side than it is on the golden side.
It's got that wheat smell to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's give it a taste.
Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Okay.
4.6%.
Oh yeah. Okay, it makes
20
sense.
20 IBUs.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I pulled open the website just to get a little bit of
It's an interesting
a read on it.
Take on it.
So it's only available April through September.
Cool.
Like you just said, 4.6 ABV, 20 IPUs. The little descriptor on it says, you're going to need a bigger suitcase. All Day Vacay has arrived. Take a well-earned respite, yes, from the mundane and let this session wheat ale whisk you away with its slight summery sweetness, complemented by delicate notes of citrus. Whether it's a staycay or vacay, it's the perfect companion for any type of adventure. So, yeah.
It's very good. I definitely taste the sweetness.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of citrus.
It's not overwhelming with citrus.
Yeah, right. A little bit.
It's just like a hint in the back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not a huge wheat beer person. Like I've never been a Blue Moon fan.
Yeah.
Shock Top was probably the only wheat beer that I could do, but it's a very, very mild wheat beer. This is good. I could do 1, maybe 2. I couldn't drink this. The all day moniker that we have here doesn't quite translate for me personally.
It's a vacay
to this beer. So okay,
it's a vacation.
I get you. So it's maybe
is it a vacation from the all day?
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Like, I had like 7 all days, IPAs. So let me go to one of these for a vacation, and then back to 7 more all day IPAs.
And then, so they're not super local, right? They're out of what?
Grand Rapids, Michigan.
And I think they said they had brewery in Detroit too. On their website it says that. So they're not very local to us at all. So they're a bit on the larger
Cheap real
side.
estate there.
Is that right?
I'm not in love with the beer. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not really
Not hitting it.
not hitting it. It's got its good points to it, but I'm not a big wheat ale kind of guy. So maybe that's not helping it. But I thought it'd be interesting because we've had the IPAs. You know,
I've had the All Day IPAs a couple times.
yeah, a couple times. So I thought it was just gonna be interesting to try it out.
Surprised you're not influencing them yet, Michael.
We might have just lost it.
Hit him up.
They haven't called me.
Founders. Mike drinks your all day IPA all of the time.
All day.
That's true.
Really.
Yep.
Okay.
So,
It'll be available 12-ounce cans of 6-packs, 15-packs, and on draft from April through September.
Nash is gnawing on a bone, by the way.
That's
what the turbulence is.
The turbulence.
Ooh, the 15-pack's going to be a little pricier than the All Days. The All Days sit usually between $15 and like $18, and these are going to be 18 or.
Wow. How much was this 6-pack? Do you remember?
I want to say it was like 11 or 12 bucks.
Yeah.
It says 9 on here. This is going to be the price point. Yeah, I'm not in love with this.
Really?
Again, I'm not a big wheat.
I kind of like it.
Yeah, okay.
I wish it was a little colder though. We put it in the fridge a tad too late. I think we would have gotten a better
Put it in the freezer.
taste. Yeah.
It reminds me of another beer, not a Blue Moon, not a Shock Top, another wheat beer that I've had, and I just can't really pinpoint it.
You'll figure it out as you go along, though.
Probably. I've had a couple beers before, so I'm not really. They all get jumbled up in there.
We're doing 3 today too. 3 episodes.
Yeah, I'm not
We are no, the other ones.
Oh, the other ones.
The other ones. Not
Spoiler.
So, well.
Anyway, gotta keep it moving now.
Yeah, let's do this.
Yeah.
Call me when. or
Call me if you get lost. This is Tyler, the Creator, his 7th studio album.
7. Wow.
Yes, so I've been a big fan of Tyler, the Creator, ever since I really got into rap. I'd say around like 2013, 2014.
Cool.
So I didn't know how to start because I definitely wanted to bring you guys a Tyler album, and I figured this one would probably be the best one just because it just came out pretty recently. It came out on June 25th. We're recording a bit after 4th of July. So I figured might as well give you this one, but I'll do a bit of a back catalog trip for Tyler. 2011 came out with Goblin. It was like his biggest album at the time just because he had started a rap collective called Odd Future. And if you have ever heard of people like Frank Ocean or Earl Sweatshirt, they came from that group. They became really big household names from that too. There's some good songs, but I mean, he has one of the most interesting like lineage of albums because you can see him progressing and maturing through his albums, through all of these different releases, and I think it's really interesting how he does it. So Goblin, in his early work, he's very childish. He calls people out by name, is very much aggressive and very screamy. Not screamy, but like he yells a lot. Then there are some good songs on that. My favorite is Yonkers. That was like his big first single. It has like 145 million plays. So pretty good album on that one. Wolf is his biggest one after that. That was like when Odd Future was at its peak when they as a group. Still pretty childish, but he's starting to get more into the emotional aspect of his music, and that's one of my personal favorites. Then he hits us with Cherry Bomb, which is like a weird mishmash of. You can tell where his music's going to go, but it didn't really mesh well with his old style. He said a lot of the bad F word, the one I can't say, on that. There are some interesting songs on there. I really like Find Your Wings with 𝘾𝘼𝙧. Fucking Young / Perfect is really good. Smuckers, if you listen to one song from that, Smuckers is great because it has Kanye and Lil Wayne, and there's a story about Kanye going back saying how he heard Wayne's verse on there and he had to scrap his entire verse and write a better one because it was so good. He releases an album every 2 years, so 2015 was Cherry Bomb. That's where I kind of stopped listening to him for a while because that was kind of a rough album. But 2017 was Flower Boy, which is a fantastic fucking album. One of my favorites of all time. Eventually, I'll bring that to the podcast as well.
Okay.
He changes up so sonically on this whole thing. It's very summery and laid back, and doesn't really have as many rap bangers on it. They're very much subdued, but still very potent. And he kind of hints at like his sexuality on it. He has a song called Garden Shed, which is used as like a metaphor for like being in the closet. And then on one of the songs he says, "I've been kissing white boys since 2004." I thought that was really interesting.
Is he gay?
Well, that's the thing. On 𝘼𝙡𝙀, which is the one after this, 2019, he has he wrote basically a whole breakup album of him dating a guy and then breaking up with him for the entirety of the album. And he's like, it's so intricate and well put together, and everything flows together so well. That's one of my favorite albums too. So those two are such a huge transitional period in him, because he's not really doing a lot of his hip hop that made him as popular in the early 2010s, and it's so interesting to see him develop into a different artist altogether. And this one, "Call Me If You Get Lost," I feel like it's him going after this girl who already has a boyfriend, which you kind of hear a little bit on 𝘼𝙡 near the bottom half of the album.
Yeah,
And
that was.
Yeah.
I do have to say, so the couple times I listened through, that song was just like, really put the whole like album in perspective. Like,
exactly.
Really,
That's exactly
right. Finally, there you start hearing it in like a story format.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean?
And it's like I like the name of the album, "Call Me If You Get Lost." Like maybe if the girl gets away from that guy and she gets lost from him, you should call Tyler to kind of get into that. So he is very much with his albums, they're very narrative driven and story based, and so this one is a bit away from that, but you start to listen to it and understand it more when the album gets going. So my biggest, not concern, but like my biggest gripe with the album is that DJ Drama appears way too much on it for me. It's a guy that does a lot of the shouted vocals in the background.
Little John-esque.
Yeah. I mean,
heard that quite a bit.
There have been some tweets that people have pulled from Tyler in 2010 where he's talking about like a bunch of Lil Wayne mixtapes with Pharrell, where DJ Drama does a lot of the same stuff over and over again, like on this, and that he's like, he's so cool. Like I want one of those kind of albums eventually, and so I think from that Tyler came to this, and I don't know if it's one of my favorite parts of the album, but I can understand why he would want it. But yeah, I just want to hear what are your kind of first impressions, because I'm assuming neither of you have heard anything from Tyler before this.
I had heard of him.
I've heard of him. Yeah.
Okay.
But as for I
His
have to
stuff?
say, no, I haven't really ever listened to anything.
Yeah. I bet if you played some of the like key songs off of, what were the two albums, 𝘼𝙡𝙀 and
Flower Boy.
Yeah, I bet maybe I'd recognize.
His biggest one was 𝘼𝙡𝙀 from 𝘼𝙡𝙀,
Okay.
and See You Again from the Flower Boy.
Okay.
My biggest,
They're not big like radio songs though.
No, yeah.
my biggest
That's okay though.
issue, I guess, I don't know, I didn't feel like it flowed super great. It was a little jumpy, like with the styles of like song to song.
Yeah.
That was probably my one. And again, it's also expected. We talked about this with the Snoop Dogg album when we did that a while back, Doggy Style. How many like quote unquote skits or so, and even with Eminem, like how many like spoken word and skits and kind of get thrown in there. And I felt like there was quite a bit of that on here too, which I guess thematically fits in, but sometimes can stylistically break up some of the music flow.
That's fair.
You know, and I listened to this while I was doing some stuff both times, and both times when it ended, like I didn't necessarily realize it had ended. You know what I'm saying? So like that's what it's hard. So I find with some of the rap and hip hop albums, it's hard to like hear a start and a finish. Like, does that make sense? Like
Okay.
when it ends, if another hip hop song comes on, by some similar artist, sometimes I can realize, oh shit,
Yeah.
the album ended, but I heard like 2 other songs that weren't even on it. Other than that, though, it had some good songs, and there were some songs I really did like on it.
Yeah, that's one thing I'll agree with. I didn't think it ended very well. I don't think it tied everything together. But no, I like that. I like this intro track. During a lot of the promotion for this too, along with that phone number that we called before, which actually I'm not realizing. I don't know if we can play because that's copyrighted. I'm just starting to realize that. So
That's true.
a lot of the promotion from this, he called himself Tyler 𝘼𝙏,
Yes.
which I'm not sure what that's a reference to.
I read up on that a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
He also
Well-
released a bunch of like skits on YouTube as well, like Brown Sugar Salmon, and a bunch of other cool things that didn't really tie into the album as well. But
While we're looking that up, my one thing about the album, I really liked a lot of the production on it. Like the beats were cool. I got a lot of MF Doom vibes.
Yes.
There
I
were a
meant to
few
bring that
songs
up, like-
on there that sounded like maybe musically.
there is a bit of a Mad Lib worship on this, just because he's very he was the producer for a lot of MF Doom stuff.
So the 𝘼𝙧 thing is in reference to the French poet Charles 𝘼𝙧,
Okay.
whose work has been regarded by music journalists as comparable to the explicit nature and themes of Tyler's music.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
So that's what you see on the album cover too. It's
Yeah.
an ID.
It's very much a travel theme for this album.
Yeah.
Well, that was a whole thing too when he went to the Grammys. He brought like 2 really big suitcases with him.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
See,
you
I
can-
like that stuff. That's cool.
You can see on the tag, and this was before the album was even announced. You could see on the tag of the suitcase it said "Call me if you get lost" on it.
Oh,
So
that's pretty
it's
cool.
kind of a hint at it.
I like that.
And even on this, it's not like a super long song either. But some of my favorite lines were.
A lot of them aren't long.
Keep it low, don't want that shit to blow like Osama shoe. And then the last line before he ended it was, "That's a mansion on that USB, it's T." I thought that was pretty interesting. Like
Yeah.
his album on this thing is worth a mansion. It's
Yeah.
just on USB drive.
Yeah. I mean, really, there's only a couple songs that are 3 minutes. There's 2 songs that are one's 9 and one's 8. Other than that, everything's like 2, a minute, maybe even some are like 50-second skit.
Yep.
I thought Corso was a great song.
Yes, me too.
Really?
Like right off the bat, I just thought it opened the album really, really well.
Yep. I
yeah.
listened to most of this album in my car, and the bass on this was nice. It like came
Yeah.
through real nice.
Yeah.
So that was cool. I'm a big fan of that. I thought this song was really good too.
It was a great way to open the album. I mean, obviously, you expect a lot of hip hop albums to have kind of like that opener, which isn't really necessarily a song as much as maybe kind of a combo of a skit and a few other things. But then to come in with that as, a 2.5 minute song, I thought just his rapping style like gave you a good understanding of who he was right off the bat.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I really did. That was one of my favorites right off the bat was
Yeah,
Corso.
for sure. Agreed. The beat was kind of a throwback for me. Like it definitely had some like 90s vibe to it with the like tambourine in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
And it's mainly about Tyler's like social life and influence on people around him. So I think that's a lot of the themes for the rest of the album too, because like it's not about like a specific scenario or something. It's about just like a kind of like a life. What's the word I'm looking for? Like a just like to catch up on his life and like see where he is in his own mental headspace.
Yeah.
And that's something you could say as a knock as well, or you can not do that. But I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Corso. I enjoy it while it's on, but it's not like one of my favorites on the entire track list. But it does start off the album on a high note because the last 2 albums weren't really like banger focused for the rest of the album, but this one kind of kicks you off with one right in the beginning.
Yeah.
So pretty cool.
I think it starts off really high energy, starts off with really getting a good understanding of his style of rap, and especially for someone like me and Joe who's never really listened to him before.
Yeah.
Like this was here you go. This is Tyler the Creator.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, I like this. This is
Yeah,
good.
yeah. And then I also like right at the end of this last verse, he's talking about like how sad he is, and he's like about to spend millions just to fill voids up, and he says, "Drama, I need you. Can you turn the noise up?" And he starts going, "Go, go," and he starts to build up.
Yeah.
And then he says like, "Oh, it doesn't even matter." And then he said, "Remember, I was so rich, so I bought me some new emotions and a new boat, 'cause I'd rather cry in the ocean." I thought that was a cool line too. But anyway,
It's just, it amazes me how these guys can write lyrics like that.
I know.
You know,
It's so cool.
it's insane.
Yep.
I don't think it's often, what am I trying to say, highly regarded as it should be. You know, rap and hip hop songwriting in the, I hate using the word, but in the mainstream kind of focus, these guys are just so talented.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy.
Sometimes it's just not the easiest to listen to. Like, because if you don't dive deeper into it, you almost don't get it.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, I'll be honest. Like with like MF Doom and even this album, the background that Tom ends up giving us from really makes it better than it initially was.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why I like doing a deeper dive onto each of these tracks, because you get so much more. It's. I hate using this comparison, but it's like an onion. You know.
Yeah.
You get this kind of outer layer, and you're like, oh, you just hear the instrumental, and like, okay, it just kind of repeats. It's not that great, but then you dive deeper into it. You see these really intricate lyrics that all rhyme together,
right?
And they all mean their own separate things, and now they can all be so intricate. It's so cool.
I'd have a hard time listening to this album in the background while doing something.
Right?
Yeah, you can't do that with this. That's what I like about music too. Is like when you focus deeper into it, it creates a whole other experience.
And then you move on.
Lemonhead.
Thought that was a good song.
Yeah.
Kind of started off with the almost DJ Khaled kind of like like those big.
Yeah,
it was a big song.
For some reason about this, it almost felt like cheap in the instrumental. Like those horns just sounded like they're off of some.
Well, that's why I'm saying
like,
they sounded almost like DJ. Dude, I was
what's
waiting
that
for
song,
DJ Khaled.
Yeah, another one. No, for me it sounded like "Shake Your Tail Feather."
Okay.
By who's that? Ludacris.
Was it? He was part of that. Yeah, I forget who actually.
the horns, the like police horns in the background.
Yeah.
I thought the raps was good in it though.
Yeah.
I thought he did a really good job with that.
His flow is impeccable on this.
Yeah. I was saying before we started recording, I was surprised at how deep his voice was. Like you look at pictures of him, and it just the voice doesn't match.
Yeah, it doesn't match it.
Guy.
Yeah. But I like his voice a lot. I like his tone.
It's too hot. TLC waterfalls on my chest help cool me out. And then 42 Doug, I believe, is a Detroit rapper.
Okay.
And he goes hard on this too.
Yep. Yeah, from Detroit.
I wasn't crazy about him. His lyrics aren't that great on this, but his flow and his appearance on this is really cool.
Yeah, he does a good job. He fits in. For somebody kind of, I don't want to say no name, but I've never heard of him, and
no, I've never heard of him either.
So he does well for being someone who's not mainstream.
Yeah. Which
is kind of a lot of guys on it. Well, you've got your Lil Wayne and Ty Dolla $ign and stuff, but Young Boy.
Can we get to that track?
The next one, What's Your Name?
First
of all, I love the title.
Yeah.
What's your name?
Because it's spelled like it's said.
Yeah.
What's your name, girl?
Which I thought was really cool. I also really like that it was almost like a late 90s like throwback Boys to Men / rap kind of feel.
That's kind of how I felt with Corso too.
I love this. Yeah, exactly. I mean, those were probably two of my top songs, Corso and then What's Your Name?
Yeah. That's one of the things that I love about him too, is that he doesn't just stick to hip hop. He kind of mixes in a little R&B, a little bit of that style. And this song definitely highlights it for me.
Yep.
And then
I thought it was a great song.
Yeah, I really like how it started off where he says, my pickup lines and shit, I got your bitch moving, and then he starts off with there's like a it's not like a music video for it, but it's like a snippet on YouTube that he released. He goes up to this girl that he doesn't know, I'm assuming is the girl that's the main character in this, and he's like, I got to start off with a pickup line. He goes, "Oh, you look malnourished."
If you were to take Boys to Men and Biggie and mash 'em. Like that's what this song is to me. It has that like Big Papa feel with those strings in the back and like that's the vibe I'm getting from it, which I like that old school rap.
For sure.
So this really, you know, pulled it together for me.
Yep.
Yeah. My one, it's not really a knock actually. I don't really mind it too much, but it features 𝘼𝙠, and he's really not. He doesn't have like a verse or anything. He just kind of throws in little vocal snippets everywhere. Like right at the end of like he says a word, he'll say like baby or like in the wind. It's like come on. However, I really like Young Boy Never Broke Again.
Yeah.
What's he? I think he goes by NBA Young Boy or something. That's like a rap group, I think.
Okay.
I thought he was great. He's very much like not this style of music. He does a lot of like harder shit. So how he transitioned into this, it's really cool.
Yeah, good balance.
He's got kind of like a Lil Wayne style to him.
A little bit. I mean, he's singing. He's not really rapping on it, but I mean, you can't really understand what he's saying. But I mean, I like how melodic it is. I think he really adapted to it well.
For sure.
This song is very much summery and kind of wavy for me. It's one of my
favorites.
favorites.
I really like this song.
Yeah, it's definitely.
This
I actually
like,
played this one for you when you were at the lake with me.
You did. You did.
And it made it to my 2021 playlist.
Oh!
Hit him with that. Hit him with a bop.
And then, unfortunately, Lumberjack's next.
This is the only single on the album.
I did not like this song.
You know what? I can agree with you actually on this one.
Yeah.
When it first dropped as a single, I was a little put off by it at first. And the fact that it's kind of wedged in between this and Hot Wind Blows is a bit unfortunate for the track list. Although it does switch it up a bit, because if those two were back to back, like it would be a little too much. Like
a little too much. I get that.
So it's a very much in the banger territory of the album. But
I'm just not really sure what the purpose of this track was. Like I just felt like it was. You went from What's Your Name, and then you go to Hot Wind Blows, and then this is almost like really deep, over aggressive. Like I don't know. It just didn't fit for me, and it was kind of like I couldn't get into it.
It's a bit off-putting with the little piano in the back. Like, it sounded very mysterious and like kind of off. It's like unsettling for me.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's tough. I wouldn't have put it as a single by a long shot.
Yeah, I know. I'm surprised at all of the other songs. Like this was a single.
I like the Rolls Royce pull up, Black Boy hop out kind of repeating part. Shout out to my mother.
See, like I found that annoying. Like I found that part kind of be like, okay, I don't know. I just didn't.
Yeah, I wouldn't have put it as a single though.
Was it like not creative enough lyrically?
I don't even think it was that. I don't know.
It's a little on the shorter side.
Yeah, the vibe of it was just like.
I can understand that.
Maybe because I'm coming from like What's Your Name, which I thought was like a great throwback kind of feel, and I really liked it.
Yeah.
You know, I loved Corso. Lemonhead wasn't bad. Hot Wind Blows was good. I love Lil Wayne. Like I think he does a great job. And then this was kind of just like jammed in the middle and didn't have any flow with any of that, and I just couldn't get into it.
Didn't like contribute much.
Yeah, it just didn't do it for me. I don't know why.
Quality Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because I thought it was for a single, because like he hasn't dropped anything in like 2 years, and that because people were thinking that he was gonna, because he put out those billboards for the number without saying anything at all.
Yeah.
And people called in, they're like, "Oh, is he in album mode?" And then if you go on the website that he put out for it too, it's like in the code for it, it said like something album, and so everyone online was getting all freaked out over it. And then you drop this, and everyone's like, "Oh, yeah, definitely an album's coming." And then you listen to it, and it's like, "Oh, okay, it's kind of mysterious and not very like melodic, and it's a little like unsettling." And I was not a huge fan of it. In context of the album, I'd like it a little bit more than as a single, but I don't think it's one of my favorites. But still, you know.
Now moving on to Hot Wind Blows, though, that sounded like MF Doom.
Yes.
Like that
kind of flute going.
Yeah, that little flute thing.
God's flute.
This made this is where I heard like that kind of concept, MF Doom kind of overlap. I was like, oh, maybe there's a little influence there. I thought this was a good song, And then again, you put Lil Wayne on everything except for Blink 182. He's good.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that part where the beat cuts out and he just starts going really, really hard. He like double times it.
Yeah.
No, that was good.
Did we talk about how he keeps saying "call me when you get" or "call me if you get lost" throughout the whole album?
Yes, I think we did mention that, but
Okay.
I do like how that's a motive that keeps coming back into.
Yeah, I do like that.
Yeah,
It kind of brings it all, like it ties everything together.
So yeah, I really like the last line that Lil Wayne ends with. It. He says, "Wind beneath my wings, desert eagle underneath my coat," which is kind of an interesting ties it to the song title, and then also desert eagle, like the wings.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, I like that song. And
next up,
Massa. I like the song too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like subdued.
I like how he's very like childish. Well, not like childish, but on the intro, he's like, 20. I went to Los Angeles and then I got out of my bubble. He says, "Passport's the most valuable." It cuts down to the beat. And It's a very very down to earth, very dirty beat.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought it was straightforward, nothing too crazy. 3-minute hip hop song. I don't know. It wasn't a standout. But it wasn't.
Fair, yeah.
But it wasn't a trash song. I thought it just fit the album. It was a good flow from Hot Wind Blows. I thought it flowed really well.
Yeah, it was a good yin
transition.
To, Hot Wind Blows Yang.
Yep.
I like how he says, "Got too much self-respect. I wash my hands before I piss."
Yeah.
This is one of 3 songs that's just strictly written by him.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the thing with Igor, his last album, because he wanted a song, like an album that was just produced and written by him, so that was the entire thing, and then it got to #1. So this is kind of his victory lap. I would kind of attribute it as for the last 2 albums. And I think it turns out pretty well. And on the first verse, he mentions when he turned 23, it's when puberty hit him. His style was changing, and he says that's why Cherry Bomb sounded so shifty. Because his taste started to change, and then he wanted all this random shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was kind of interesting. He admitted it wasn't that great. It was just a mashup of a bunch of other sounds.
Kind of like Eminem.
I was just gonna
Revival.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love when rappers reference their previous albums, on future songs.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool. 'Cause it just shows how reflective they are. You don't really see that in rock a lot.
Yeah.
Any other genre, rappers, they're critical of themselves, and they're always trying to take it to another level.
Yeah. No, agreed.
Mm-hmm.
So then we go to Run It Up.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. This one sounded very much in the same vein as a lot of his stuff on Flower Boy.
Okay.
It's very that kind of that horn. I don't know if that's
it's
a
like
horn
a
like
synth
that.
horn. Yeah. I was just gonna
that's
say.
very much in that same style. With Tizo Touchdown, who I thought in the very beginning sounded just like Beyonce. I thought it was very much in that style, but I'm pretty sure it's a guy.
I would think so.
Yeah, not one of my favorites on the album, but
Got me
it's
going.
a little repetitive for me. I might just spend it all. We go Run It Up, kind of feel.
Yeah.
Not one of my favorites.
The
at
beat
all.
later on towards the song was pretty cool, but
Yeah, Manifesto is up next.
So it says "Bitch Suck My Go Tom."
yeah.
Go
The
time.
opening. Just throwing that out there.
No, I'm good. Thank you though.
You opened up wide.
Yeah. So the guy that's featured on this, Domo Genesis, was a part of Odd Future when they were originally a rap group.
Okay,
and
cool.
he actually does have a fair bit of really good songs. There's one with Anderson .Paak that's really, really good. You should go listen to. But in terms of the album, didn't really do much for me.
Yeah.
Barry White is a writer on this.
Really?
So
That means they sampled something by him.
Let's see.
I'm not sure what they sampled,
What?
but he is a writer on this song.
Yeah, I wonder why. It doesn't say.
No, something in it must be a sample that they pulled, or lyrically, or something.
It doesn't say.
No, he is a writer.
Yep.
He's also dead, so they used something of his.
He didn't write it by hand.
Not recently. And then the next song was interesting, being like a
double song?
combination. Yeah.
Oh, I like this one. Yeah.
Yeah, Sweet / I Thought He Wanted to Dance. So that's the thing with all of Tyler's albums. You know, you mentioned how Taylor's got the track 5's hidden meaning. All of Tyler's track 10s on his album are double songs. So
okay, cool.
this was Sweet / I Thought You Wanted to Dance. Igor was Gone Gone / Thank You. Flower Boy was the 911 / Mr. Lonely. All that other kind of stuff. So this is like the double song, and obviously the longest one. But this is a lot of people like this track. This is one of my favorites too.
What was the band you had us listen to that was like an Australian?
Tame Impala?
Yes, that's the vibe I got from this.
It's a little bit out there, yeah.
Spacey, kind of the higher vocals, those kind of synths and stuff in the background. Like that was the first thing I thought of. I was like,
Okay.
I really liked the first half of this track. The sweet portion. Really liked it. It kind of switches up the vocals, goes on the high end. The synth keys, I really liked it. Side note, have we gotten to the song yet? There's a song he starts out by saying like he referenced the pandemic and he says, "Oh,
that's
y'all
Lemonhead, yeah."
Yeah. I thought that was interesting how artists are now we're at that time where you're starting to hear reactions to it. It's becoming part of the landscape. I thought that was pretty cool. Oops. But Sweet is pretty cool. I like this a lot.
Yeah, this is a nice track. I like this one. This is a bit more of where the narrative of the album comes through for me.
Okay.
Sweet, I think, is where his infatuation with the girl is at its peak, where he's like starting to like really fall in love with her.
Yeah.
And then he kind of shows he has more mixed feelings on I Thought You Wanted to Dance, because I think she picked another guy to dance with, or like her actual partner or something. And that kind of gives him a little bit of throws a wrench in his plans. And I think he references They Should Call You Sugar Because You're So Sweet on a different song. I think it's on Igor somewhere, but either way. I really like Brent Faiyaz. I think he's really cool. He's a great artist. He did a single with Tyler earlier this year. I don't know. I like both of them. I don't know which ones I like better. I Thought You Wanted to Dance has a bit more of like a tropical feel to me.
Yeah.
Yes.
That kind of rhythm kind of coming in was pretty good.
It was interesting to me that this was like a double track.
Yeah.
They sound so different from one another.
Exactly, yeah. It reveals a bit more about the narrative, I think, is part of it, too. It's like, oh, I'm falling in love with you. Oh, well, now I'm not so sure.
Right.
Because, you hear Igor, his heart gets broken really, really hard on it, and I think he's just a little too standoffish. So, yeah. And there's some fan theories that it's the girl that they're talking about is his friend Taco. Not our Taco, but another guy who's friends with. It's called Taco. Because in one of the music videos, he's walking with her, and then she goes to sit down with Taco. So that's possibly who it could be about. Although that would be kind of messed up because that's like one of his best friends, and also is featured in the music video. But that's what everyone's kind of thinking it's going to be about.
Interesting.
Also, he said on Twitter when someone asked him what his favorite song of the album was, he said it was "Sweet" was his favorite one.
Tyler himself said.
Yes, Tyler on his own Twitter said that.
Yeah. I enjoyed it a lot. I liked Sweet a lot.
Cool. That was a good song.
Yeah.
And then you go into Mama Talk.
And so there's no writer, so is this literally just his mom?
Louisa Whitman.
Yeah.
Which is his mom.
Just talking about something?
I don't like this song.
No,
I mean, it's
not
really a song. Yeah, it's more of a skit, I would say.
It was kind of...
talking about like how she's kind of crazy, like how she would beat kids for his kid. I thought that was kind of nice to have her featured on it, but I'd say it's a skip now that I listen to it so much. Yeah, I listen to this album.
And you said this is one of the songs that he had on the phone number when you called?
Yes, I heard this one on the phone. So
yeah,
it was kind of weird to have that as a feature. But,
yeah,
but kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And then it transitions really well into the next song though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rise.
Which wasn't bad.
Oh, crazy. Yep. I like that at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then goes into the drum beat. Pretty cool.
Another like retro kind of sounding groove.
I really like the chorus of this one. I want to rise to the top, tell you right now, I'll show you something. A lot of people on Twitter, like other rappers, I think Future or something, said that it was one of his favorites.
Okay.
Something like that.
I do like the female vocals on this.
Yeah.
Daisy
World.
Daisy World.
Also never heard of her. There's a lot of unheralded.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know of many of these people.
Nope.
I know.
I thought she had a very good voice.
I know Lil Wayne.
Yeah. She had a very good voice, and I thought it fit for that chorus very well.
Yeah.
Oh, she's not even like on. She doesn't have any music out on Spotify at all. She's just featured on a bunch of other albums. She's
Probably
on,
will
like,
soon.
Steve Lacy. I don't know who that is, but yeah, a lot of other songs from her. She really does shine in this song too.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Bit of an unheralded one.
I really like his tone.
That deeper.
Yes.
Yeah, his
Did not see that
presence.
coming at all. I don't know what I thought. Maybe I guess like just a higher pitched voice, but
Yeah.
I really like it a lot.
Yeah. He the way he uses the female vocalist in his track just complement his style of singing
Yes.
very well
Yeah.
too.
Agreed.
Because they both go. He's in the lower register and they highlight it well. A lot of 𝘾𝘼𝙧, his stuff on his other albums are really good too. Have the same kind of feel.
Yeah. The only thing I wish is like he starts off so many songs with some sort of like talk.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sometimes it kills the flow for me a little bit. Like I wish he just start off with a beat and came in with a verse,
Mm-hmm.
versus like having an entire verse worth of spoken word before coming in.
Mm-hmm. Where's my favorite line on this? Let me show you punk motherfuckers what I know. See, I know I'm the guy that took a chance like Chicago. Because Chance the Rapper's from Chicago.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And they said, so I win, I can do this shit with my eyes closed. Can't tell the difference like Michael's vitiligo, which is Michael Jackson's changing his skin color from black to white.
Oh wow.
Because he already had it a little bit.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty interesting.
See, that's just good
but-
songwriting. It's good
You know,
shit.
I really like the hook on this. That's
Yeah.
probably the best part of the song for me.
Mm-hmm.
The please don't go, please just stays can get a little repetitive, but I mean, that's
Yeah.
just the song. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Blessed?
Blessed is Nest, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where he comes right in again with the spoken
There was
word,
a lot of talking there.
Little
and it's
skit.
only it's only
That's all
a minute.
spoken
It's
word,
all
right?
spoken word.
This is very much like an update for his life kind
Yeah.
of feel for me. He
kind
has
of
a-
transitional too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leading into the last few
one.
tracks.
Anyway, Juggernaut right after that.
Pharrell.
I did not like this song.
Yeah.
This is my least favorite.
Okay.
It's just a weird mishmash of a bunch of other sounds.
Yeah,
Because it's that kind of flowery feel on the beginning intro, and then he goes like a little too like corny aggressive on the verse. Where he's like, "What it is? It's that boy T." Look.
I was gonna say this kind of sounds like 2000s, hip hop hit. That just was just so corny.
Yeah,
Like from
a little too overproduced.
someone like Lil Jon or I don't know, something like that.
no, I agree.
Yeah.
Got that big boom.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. And I like a lot of what Lil Uzi Vert does on his own music. And I
Okay.
think he has a fair feature on this. The beat just does not fit it super well. And so I think he could have been used better on this album.
And this was just like a major change from what was
Exactly.
happening up until this point.
Yeah.
Which
I-
is where I mentioned earlier, like I felt like sometimes the album just didn't flow super great.
Okay, yeah, I can see it in this regard, yeah. And then Pharrell himself even has a verse in the very back end. I think he was going to be more of a producer type, because when he's featured, he's more just like the producer.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And if you hear in the beginning, he has like the Pharrell beat thing where it goes,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
the 4-beat intro for him.
Mm-hmm.
Like the sirens in the background. It was just like a lot going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a bit of a mishmash.
And up until this point, you didn't really have anything that crazy, and all of a sudden, all this shit just like hits the fan. It's like, what the fuck was that?
Mm-hmm.
But I love 𝘼𝙡𝙬, the next song. It's very long. It's like over.
It's 8.5 minutes.
Yeah, something like that. But it's so lyrically packed.
Yeah,
it's
needed
so much shit.
Right.
And
it's a story.
And it's pretty upfront. You can understand all of what he's saying.
Yes.
And it adds so much context for the rest of the album for me. Like you don't understand a lot of what the concept is. And this is like, oh shit! This is exactly what it is.
Oh, it's word for word. It's like spells it all out.
And he said it on Twitter, like he considers this song to be a bit of like a diary entry because he just sat down, wrote it in about like 45 minutes, and then sat down with like a shitty handheld mic and recorded it. Because if you listen with good headphones, like the right channel's a little fuzzy and like pops in and out a lot. And so he basically was like, don't even master it, don't even mix it. Like I just wanted my raw opinion out there, like. Spill my heart out on this track, and it's so interesting, like all that he says on this. I really like it.
You know, it's very interesting you said that, because when I did listen to it in my car, I noticed the right side of my car, something was like scratchy or vibrating. I'm like, God damn, my speaker go out? But
yeah,
that's very interesting.
You just saved him a trip to the dealer.
Yeah, seriously.
There you go.
No, I like when, well, rappers, musicians, whoever it may be, I like when they do songs like this, because you could just sense, because it's raw, you could just sense how personal it is and
definitely
meaningful. I just wish, it's too bad that this was the second to last track. And, you know, you said it provided so much context for the album. Like, I almost wish, like, if he, like, split this in half and did, like, half of it, like, as, like, the intro, and then the other half, like, later in the album, kind of like a continuation, like a part 2.
I don't know. I feel like if this song was at the beginning, it would be a little too boring for people who kind of wanted that style.
True.
So,
okay. Yep.
But I understand that. But you know, I think it fits perfectly where it is.
Yeah.
It's not a beat that's gonna be like. It's very much like a Logic beat. If you've ever heard any of Logic's like earlier stuff, it's very much his style. So I enjoy that, and they're definitely very very lyric based. It's just a whole ass story.
Thank God you pull up the lyrics and it's just fucking filled.
Oh yeah. You scroll for a while.
Well, there's no doubt. It's 8.5 minutes.
Right.
Just.
And this talks about like how he's trying to go out with a girl, but it's some guy that it's his friend's girl.
Yes.
And like he says like, oh, I don't know, do command bros before hoes line that he using there.
Yep.
Spent 2 weeks together, only skipped one day. They say bros over hoes. I'm like, nah, hey, I'd rather hold your hand than have a cool handshake. I thought that was a really cool line. It really stuck with me.
Yeah.
But, you know, definitely a cool track. One of my favorites, at least. I don't know if I put it on the playlist or anything, but...
Yeah, I like the storytelling portion of it.
Yes.
I mean, it really made the rest of the album make sense.
Yes, it really embellished me. Then it all ends with Safari at the very end. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's very much a Tyler song with those kind of horns in the background.
It kind of comes back
swelling.
with like the fluty and like the synthy feel.
Yeah, another Flower Boy kind of feel if you listen to that album. But not super great. And then he ends up with saying Wolf, and then DJ Drama says, "And like that, we gone," and then ends with like the reverb at the end.
Yeah,
It's kind of an interesting addition, but nothing super great, you know.
I was surprised that this ended the album. This song.
Yeah, me too.
Almost wish how do you say it? 𝘼𝙡𝙬?
𝘼𝙡𝙬.
I wish that ended the album. You know, if
kind of like
you know, like
storytelling, and then boom, there you go. You understand.
Yeah.
Kind of. Safari was almost unnecessary.
Yeah.
There really was.
Where's the line that I really liked? Skateboard named a bunny hop. It's Bowler Wolfie though. The felines name him hour for how long he eat the. Wait a minute, because he's gonna rhyme it with pussy though. He like that's very much a Doom kind of thing where he clearly gonna say a line and like just doesn't because it's implied.
I was gonna say too. Yeah, this song has a lot of Doom vibes for me.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the whole album.
There it is.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Call me if you get lost.
So let's start with our tracks, I guess, right?
Let's do it. Yeah.
Sure. Go for it.
Yeah.
Start with our favorites off this. I'm gonna go with "What's Your Name" is my favorite. It had that very nice summery throwback vibe to it. Oh, don't play it here. I want to play it over there. I thought the features were like top notch on it. It wasn't too aggressive or in your face, and it was like a good culmination of a lot of his sounds that he really mastered over the past couple years. So that's gonna be my number one.
I'm gonna go ahead and agree with you. I thought that was a really cool song for a lot of the same reasons. It was an early song for me, so it kept me interested in the album.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. That was my favorite track on the album. I also like Corso though. That was tough. The bass line in that is just deep and heavy. I love that.
Yeah.
And that had a lot of throwback vibes for me too. But I'm gonna go with What's Your Name?
3 for 3.
Nice.
Same reasoning. I mean, it was just a throwback. Had that like Biggie / kind of Boys to Men kind of feel to it. And that was the first song that really stuck out to me.
Yeah.
Nice.
Bottom track?
Bottom track. Lumberjack. I don't know what it was. I just really couldn't get that one song. It just kind of annoyed me. I didn't really get it. It didn't really fit for me. I know it was a single, but yeah, that's no for me, dog.
Oh, okay, Randy.
Randall.
I went with Juggernaut actually, which is interesting because it has like the biggest name value, at least recently. It just felt a bit too much all over the place. He didn't really sound like mature on it, like he has on the last couple of tracks, and it just didn't do too much. And the features, while they were good, the beat didn't really match their style at all, and it just didn't mesh as well as I wanted it to. So, yeah.
I'm going to go with, I think my bottom track would be Run It Up.
Okay.
It took a while for the beat to come in.
Yeah.
There was no drums until, the last minute of it, pretty much. It just took a while for it to get going.
Yeah.
So, and again, because I'm more musically driven, instrumentally driven, that one just stuck out to me as my bottom.
Sure. We thrown as a sleeper.
Sleeper.
What's your dark sleep horse?
That's tough. Okay, here's what I'm thinking.
I might pull a Joe Sod on that.
Yeah, I really love Sweet. The first half of that that double track. Wasn't a huge fan of the second half. I thought you wanted to dance. Yep. So I'm stuck on that, and then now just hearing all the backstory about Wilshire. But could you really call Wilshire a dark horse song? I feel like if you know Tyler, that one's going to stand out to you.
Yeah. It's not like one of the more popularly played songs. Right. It has like 8 million out of like other songs with like 25, 26 million. Yeah. So I guess. I mean, that's what I was going to put.
All right, I'm calling Sweet my sleeper, and then I'm giving an honorable mention to Wilshire. You got to listen to that.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
I really liked Hot Wind Blows for that Lil Wayne feature, especially. I know it wasn't like a huge song on the album necessarily, but his feature was great. Kind of had that MF Doom vibe with those the flute and everything. So that's going to be... I enjoyed that song as well. And I thought it fit really well with What's Your Name, and kind of just got screwed by being broken up by Lumberjack.
Yep.
So yeah, I was going to name a couple of them, but all three of those were going to be some of them.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I agree with all of them. Those would be my sleepers.
Oh,
but
nice.
I would also like to mention Rise while I'm here with Daisy World. I liked her style of singing, combined with the beat was a little bit more summery as well.
Yes.
Like that tight snare or whatever it is, and the hook really gets me too. So yeah, that's where I'm at too.
Cool.
Should we rate it?
We shall.
We shall?
Yeah.
Okay. I kind of struggled with this because I don't like it as much as Igor and Flower Boy. I give those both 9 to 9.5. Wow. Easy. So I think I'm going to sit about an 8 for this. I like a lot of what he was doing on this. I think it might grow on me a little bit as time goes on just because it's still pretty fresh, but His hook writing ability is there. The features are generally really good. He has a lot of stylistic differences throughout most of the album, and his lyric writing is very, very good. Production-wise, very, very good. DJ drama comes in a bit too much for me, but I mean, that's what a lot of people have been saying as well. But the concept isn't as strong as the other two, but as you go along, it does make a bit more sense, and I think will make more sense as time goes on. So another good one for Tyler for me. I'm giving it an 8.
Cool. I'm sitting at about a 4 bops out of 10.
Okay.
I enjoyed a lot of the production, and he's a great rapper and a great lyricist too. I just felt like it was a little too long for me.
Okay.
And just the song styles and the track placement was just kind of all over the place for me. And like I said earlier, it was a tough pill for me to swallow with my first Tyler the Creator, experience. But there were a lot of high points. A lot of the features were good too, like you said.
Yeah.
So I'm at a 4.
Okay.
You're at a 5.5.
Sure.
That was middle of the road. There were some good songs. The flow sometimes worked really well. Sometimes I felt was a bit jumpy. Definitely stylistically, some of the songs were very different from one another, which is not always a bad thing. But sometimes I thought they were almost too different.
Yeah.
Just a few of them.
Yeah.
It wasn't a bad album. I think I need to listen, like you were saying, to some of his other albums to
Yes.
really
I need
get
context.
Yeah.
We'll
go back. We'll go back.
Like we talked about when we did Godzilla, or not Godzilla, but the Eminem album, Songs to Be Murdered By, which was very different for him, a little bit more of the new age rap. But I really liked it because it was different, but I've also listened to all of his earlier stuff.
Right.
So it made more sense to me.
Right.
I feel like, again, you kind of, had to make a decision, and I'm not saying you made a bad decision, I'm just saying I think now we go backwards.
Yes.
And who knows, maybe we come back and re-rate this album.
Yeah.
We don't have to go through it again, but maybe we re-rate it, after listening to one of his other ones.
Okay.
It might make more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All makes sense. How about the beer?
Yeah.
Founders All Day IPA.
Not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
Or a cup of beer, if you will. I'd probably give it around like a 4. It was it didn't really have much to be like worthy of buying a second time, Like you see it and you're like, oh, okay, it's like if you have it, like you're gonna drink it. But I mean, it was just something to me where it didn't really give me something to go back to,
Kind of novelty-ish almost.
A little bit, yeah.
Because of the season.
Yeah.
Okay. I liked. I thought I kind of liked the sweet. As I got towards the bottom of the glass, though, I tend to agree with Mike that you can't drink a lot of it.
Definitely not.
Because it's just gonna. You need something else to balance out the taste, like later on, if you're gonna be drinking, a few beers. But I did enjoy it. I'm going right down the middle. I'm giving it a 5. Check it out. 5. 5 hops.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit with a 5.
Yeah, out of 10.
I can have 1, maybe 2, and then I gotta
Yeah.
move on. I'm not a big wheat beer person, so that doesn't help.
Okay.
But and then also I'm comparing it to the All Day, which to me is like kind of your drinkable IPA you can have,
Yeah.
all day, and this didn't really meet up with that, in my opinion.
Yep.
So okay,
Well, there you go.
there she is.
Give them the shouts out.
Another installment.
Ep down.
Another ep down.
Tyler the Creator, I believe on Instagram and Twitter is 𝘾𝘼𝙎 𝙑𝙇. I don't know why, but that's just the name that he goes under for social medias.
Okay.
Yes.
Probably TylerCreator.com, I guess, if you want to go to that. But he goes by 𝘾𝘼𝙎 𝙑𝙇 for most socials.
Mm-hmm.
And then for Founders, I believe it's foundersbrewing.com. Might be Founders Brewing Instagram.
Looking it up now. Founders Brewing on
Yep.
Instagram.
Yep. So go to those. Go listen to Tyler's other stuff. We will be doing Flower Boy and Igor, maybe another one in the future.
Yep.
But, he does have some really good albums that I love. They're very close to me.
Founders just posted about their Oktoberfest
Ooh, okay.
beer.
Go check that out.
That is, you can find it in our tap rooms on July 21st, nationwide in August. 6-pack cans, 15 packs. That'd be interesting. If we do another like fall round like we did last year,
maybe
we can throw that in. Cool. All right. Next up, what is this?
44.
44.
Yes.
Wow, 44. Yeah. Crazy. This is my album I chose. So I was kind of struggling. I hit kind of an album block, kind of like writer's block. But it's summertime right now, and I think this album is worth talking about. It's Sublime's self-titled third and final album as Sublime.
That's right.
So more on that next episode.
And I picked a Connecticut Valley Brewing Company CBD seltzer to go
Oh.
along with a little Sublime action.
CBD.
Yeah, so
All
no
right.
alcohol, but infused with 25 milligrams of CBD in each can.
Okay. Is it a flavor?
Black cherry.
Black cherry. Basic.
Ooh.
All right. Basic. Best.
Usually the best one to go with.
Yes.
Like, can't really go wrong with
Got to
black
start
cherry.
off with a black cherry. Cool. All right. So we'll look forward to that next episode. Hops and Bops podcast on Instagram and Facebook. Check us out. Hit us up. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. For Mike and Tom, I'm Joe. We'll see you next time.
Peace.